This drive through Notre-Dame-de-Grâce doubles as a car spotting episode. Some identifications can be exact, others stay at the model family or generation when the angle does not give us a badge. En route Sherbrooke, the first proper sighting is a white Genesis SUV. This is most likely a Genesis GV70. The compact proportions, two-line rear lamps, and large oval exhaust finishers point toward the GV70 rather than the larger GV80. The two horizontal light bars are now the easiest Genesis identifier. This is Genesis number 1. A cream BMW X1 is parked on West Broadway. This is the third generation X1, with an upright rear and sharply cut lamps giving the compact body more visual weight. The modern X1 belongs to BMW's front drive-based compact family, a substantial departure from the long hood rear drive proportions associated with older BMW sedans. Goodyear Subaru WRX appears on fielding. The hood scoop is functional. It directs outside air toward the top-mounted intercooler. The angle does not give us enough badging to confirm the STI version, so WRX is the safe identification. On Somerled, a red Toyota Crown sits on the left and a black Porsche 911 on the right. The Crown is Toyota's current lift-up sedan, with a higher seating position and crossover-like ride height built into an otherwise four-door shape. Across the street, the 911 stays low, with round headlamps, a short nose, and most of its visual weight behind the doors. Its engine sits behind the rear axle, which accounts for the familiar roofline and broad rear bodywork. A white VinFast VF8 follows. The split headlamp arrangement and V-shaped daytime running lights identify it before the badge becomes readable. It has the familiar proportions of a modern electric crossover, but the lighting signature is entirely VinFast. The BrightDrop Zevo is easier to identify by purpose than by styling. It was designed as an electric delivery van rather than converted from a conventional cargo model. The low step in height matters because a delivery driver may climb in and out hundreds of times during one shift. The tall square body preserves most of the vehicle's length for cargo. Rue Monkland contains the densest car spotting stretch of the drive, a Porsche Macan, 2 current generation Land Rover Defenders, an Audi e-tron, a Jaguar F-Type, a Rivian R1S and Genesis No. 2, all within less than a minute. The Macan is the compact Porsche SUV. The Defenders retain the upright body, external spare wheel, and short overhangs of a traditional off-roader, although this generation uses a modern aluminum monocoque rather than the old separate frame. The Audi e-tron places its electric hardware inside a conventional luxury SUV outline. The Jaguar F-Type keeps the opposite proportions: a long hood, a short rear deck, and very little concern for cargo volume. The Rivian is most likely an R1S, identified from the rear by its broad body and full-width light bar. 7 sightings in 38 seconds. The block is 1 valet stand short of a hotel entrance. After leaving Boulevard Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, Genesis number 3 is the oldest one, a second-generation Genesis sedan from the transition between the Hyundai Genesis model and the standalone Genesis G80. It has the long hood and rear drive proportions of a traditional large luxury sedan before the brand's two-line lamps became the recurring identifier. 8 seconds later, another Audi e-tron. That makes 2 e-trons, but Genesis still leads 3-2. On Côte-Saint-Antoine, the next 3 sightings cover roughly 60 years of car design. The first is a first-generation Ford Mustang convertible, probably from 1965 or 1966. The long rear deck, round fuel cap, and 3 vertical tail lamps are all present. The exact year remains difficult from this angle because the early cars differ in small pieces of trim. The Mustang has reached the age where ordinary street parking starts to look like preservation. A BMW iX follows. Its enormous kidney panel is not a conventional radiator grille. It protects cameras and sensors used by the driver assistance systems. BMW also placed the washer fluid filler beneath the front roundel, turning the badge into a service flap. Even by electric car standards, the iX commits heavily to the front end. The next vehicle is a first-generation Porsche Cayenne. The exact 955 or facelifted 957 version is difficult to settle from the rear, but the generation is clear. The early Cayenne carried serious off-road hardware, a low-range transfer case, and a locking center differential. The oldest Porsche SUV in the footage is also the one most prepared to leave the pavement. After Boulevard de Maisonneuve, the route turns onto Grand Boulevard. A white Mercedes-Benz EQS 350 SUV is parked on the right, and the badge is clearly visible. The full-width rear light strip, smooth body sides, and rounded roofline belong to Mercedes' first generation of dedicated EQ luxury vehicles. It is a large SUV with very few hard edges. Genesis number 4 is another GV70, this time in silver. The twin rear lamps are impossible to miss now. 4 Genesis sightings still fit under coincidence, but only just. Burgundy Mercedes-Benz W123 sedan is parked on the grass. Mercedes produced the W123 saloon family from 1976 to 1985 with a wide range of petrol and diesel engines, so the exact version cannot be recovered from this angle. The thin pillars, upright greenhouse, chrome window surrounds, and separate bumpers belong to the period before flush aerodynamic detailing became standard. It has outlasted several generations of cars that once looked newer beside it. On Girouard, the final 2 private car sightings arrived 6 seconds apart. Genesis number 5 is a GV80 coupe. It keeps the height and 4-door body of the GV80, then gives away some rear cargo volume for a lower sloping roofline. 5 Genesis vehicles in 37 minutes is no longer a callback. It is a local market survey. A blue Volkswagen ID Buzz follows immediately. Its short overhangs and long wheelbase come from the electric platform, while the upright body, broad glass area, and two-tone treatment refer directly to the original Volkswagen bus. The references are old, the packaging is entirely electric. The last road marker is Chemin Upper-Lachine. 2 STM buses close the episode Fleet 4111 approaching and 4118 directly ahead. Both are 2020 4th generation Nova bus LFS HEV hybrids. There is no conventional diesel bus in this frame. Compared with a regular diesel LFS, the propulsion system is different. In the Series E hybrid arrangement, an electric motor drives the bus while the diesel engine supplies a generator. Braking recovers energy that would otherwise become heat. The hybrid version also carries a larger enclosure along the roof for its electrical equipment, while the green hybrid markings provide the easier street-level clue. The large HY Bride lettering across the back of 41118 removes the remaining suspense.